Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and today, the 2nd of March 2025, it's now been exactly a year since Jack O'Sullivan, 22 at the time, is now 23 years old, disappeared, vanished in a puff of smoke in Bristol, in the UK, after a night out at a party with his friends. Since then, really, nothing is known. Anyway, it's a very sad milestone, isn't it? 1 year, one whole year. So this poor family have gone through his birthday, through Christmas, through New Year, and now this 1 year anniversary, they must feel like they're living in a twilight zone. Every day that they wake up and Jack is not with them will be a torture. Anyway, as you know, I try and do a regular update, if I can call it that, because it's rare that there is any updates. I try and do a regular reminder, if you like, that this lovely young man is vanished and his family are distraught. His mum, his dad, his brother are just inconsolable. But through it all, his mum, particularly, because she seems to be like the public, she's done like most of the actual public pleas, gone on the TV, etc. She seems to have done most of the public searching for Jack, if you like, or trying to raise public awareness. That's probably what I'm trying to say. And I'm sure his dad and his brother are doing more behind the scenes, but maybe they, Catherine to me just seems like such a very strong woman. I'm sure she's not as strong as she makes herself out to be, but she's got to be strong till she finds out where her son is. She's got to be strong probably for the others as well. So we're going to have a look at the statement that she's released today about Jack's disappearance. Very sad, very sad. But anyway, let's read through it. It's important that we keep, I've spoken to Catherine by message, and I've said to her, I will keep at least once a month. Hopefully it won't be another month, but for as long as there is at least once a month, if not more often, obviously, if there is any update, I will be highlighting Jack's case. We will keep Jack in everybody's minds. Now, this has happened in Bristol, in the UK, and it's funny, isn't it? Because looking at other cases, I've realised, we're interested in these cases, missing people, etc. There's a lot of people that are oblivious to what's going on, may not even know anything about Jack, and it may be just one video that they catch, or one news article they read, or one Facebook share, that suddenly someone thinks, oh, hang on, and a bit of information comes out. So it's never too late for information to come out. We can never assume that everybody knows about this case and all avenues have been looked at, that there isn't anybody out there who has any information. There could well still be people out there that have information, but either are withholding it for a nefarious reason, or just haven't heard about it. They may just see a post there. They may just, as I say, catch a news article and think, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I remember that night. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it? So anyway, there is a Facebook page. This Facebook page, Find Jack. It has been paused because I think the family, Catherine and everyone, that were finding it difficult to cope with trolls. This is what trolls do. They don't realise the damage that they do to people. So Catherine, they felt like they had to pause the Facebook page because they could not cope with the horrible things there'll always be people out there saying horrible things. Get a life, trolls. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Anyway, so she had paused the Facebook page, And we looked at that. I did a video when that happened. It's very sad when that has to happen, because you just can't cope with the negative comments. Anyway, she's released, however, a statement today, and that's the purpose of this video. I'm going to read out the statement, making an absolute plea to people. One, to leave the family alone. Don't be trolling them, especially. You know, if you can't help in this, don't make it all worse. But also just to try and jog people's memories, just to remind them that Jack is still missing. And this happened in the Bristol area in the UK. If you know anything, please get in touch with the police or Catherine. It is now 1 year since our son and brother Jack went missing. As we write this message, our lives are still in total disbelief. How, after all this time, can we still be no longer in finding out where Jack is? Despite the hell that we navigate our lives through, we continue to try to gain answers. His disappearance remains a complete and utter mystery, and despite a considerable campaign to find him, involving private investigators, search and rescue teams, community searches, as well as forensic IT searches, we remain in the dark as to what happened that night. We initially put total faith in our police force, which subsequently proved to be the wrong thing to do. And I think that was a real slap in the face for Catherine, because I think Catherine is probably a very sort of law-abiding person, and I think it's just totally shocked her how let down they feel by the police. We lost valuable time, which has cost us dearly in securing vital evidence. So the thing is, we have to put our trust in the police, don't we? Because, you know, what other choice do we have? But, you know, we always have to be aware that they are fallible, they are human, they are starved of resources. You can't rely on the fact that maybe they've done, you know, unfortunately, and as sad as it is to the police, Jack is a missing person. It is important, but he is one of many, many missing people. When your loved one goes missing, the most important person is you, because you and your family, to you, it's the only thing that matters. But to the police, they have so many other things going on, don't they? So you cannot rely that they're going to make it priority number one. Maybe initially they will, but it sounds from what Catherine's saying that they did not even initially make Jack priority number one. She found out things, she discovered CCTV that hadn't been found before. So, you know, it's only through the family's efforts that we know what we do know, which is not much, but at least, you know, some of the CCTV images, etc., would not be available if it wasn't for the family. So bear that in mind. I mean, hopefully we're never in a position where we have to go through what this family's going through. But it's always important to remember that if you ever find yourself in that position, do not rely completely on the police to sort it out. So we are still, with external support, searching for Jack, and urge anyone who knows anything about what might have happened to him or where he is now to come forward and provide us with the information they have. We still believe that someone must know something. Please share any information you have with us at findjack23@gmail.com, and also with the Avon and Somerset Police on 101, and provide the call handler reference 522 4055 172. We will never give up looking for Jack, and we just urge you to do the same. Many thanks, Catherine, Alan, and Ben Sullivan. And just for information, and this is important to remember as well, because this is another thing that happens, isn't it? I've just been talking about it on members, these Facebook groups, you know, that set up, but they don't have any connection to the family. They don't know anything about the family. They're, you know, pursuing their own agenda often. They're not really related to the, we see this with Nicola Bulley. Do they really care about Nicola and her family? That's not who the priorities seem to be for, is it? And Catherine is saying here, just for information, the only Facebook site that we are associated with is this group. Other groups have been set up, but without our consent, and possibly providing information that we can't be sure to be accurate. This just happens with all these groups. I hope this was done from a position of trying to help. God knows we need as much help as possible. But to be clear, the information passed on this page is as factual as we believe it to be. The rest we have very little control over. This is the only Facebook group I follow. I won't be looking for the others. I've had enough bad experiences with Facebook groups supposed to care about missing people or victims or whatever. I'm not interested in what Facebook groups have to say unless they're all for the person and not for other agendas. So it's important that we're hearing that from Catherine's own mouth. That is Catherine. She is his mum. She has the right to control the Facebook group and stop trolling her. I cannot believe that the family of a missing person gets these horrible comments. I just don't understand people's mentality. But anyway, that's not for me to... it's not for me to, they've got their own karma to face. Anyway, they'll know whether they know what their intentions are. There's no point in me saying anything because they'll know inside the truth, and God knows the truth. So now I just wanted to find a picture of Catherine herself. Just to show you, and I think I will put one in the thumbnail. So, there's quite a few photos here. So that these photos in happier times, you can see how close they are. This, unfortunately, just you can see the change in Catherine, the sadness in her face. It just, honestly, and this is her husband. I don't know how, it always amazes me how people that are going through this torment actually even just get up in the morning and function through the day. But I suppose what will keep them going, what will keep Catherine going and Jack's dad and his brother will be Jack. The thought of finding Jack, finding out what's happened to him, whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's important that they find out. Cannot go years and years, hopefully, surely, without knowing what's happened to this boy. So Jack had been to a party and he'd had a bit to drink. It looks like that way on the CCTV that you can see of him, as young people do when they go to a party. And then he decided to go. There's some reports of some kind of altercation at the party. And then off he went to try and get a taxi. And then he seemed to have problems getting a taxi. And he tried to ring someone at the party. They didn't hear the call. But then when they phoned him back, they say he answered the phone and just said hello. And then the phone cut off. And that was an iPhone. So, there's lots of different theories. Was he mugged? Or, did he fall into the river? This is what the police think, because this is quite often what does happen. At the end of the day, the police are dealing with the reality of what they deal with all the time. But nothing's been found in all this time. Nothing. None of his belongings. It's a complete mystery. Where are his belongings? You know, if he's fallen into the river, you would think something would have been found by now. You know, let's have a look at the website. You know, it must, I expect, Kath, I mean, every now and again, I go over this, and this case is a mystery, but obviously we deal with other cases. In between, we have our lives, you know, our lives going on. Jack wasn't in our lives, so it doesn't affect us that he's not in it any longer. We're not the ones having to live with the loss of him. But yeah, just nothing found, nothing. Where are you, Jack? 100, yeah. So it's been a year. He was attempting to get a taxi home. He was last seen on CCTV. And then his phone was still active, even though his phone cut off when that person phoned him and he just said hello. His phone was still active until 6:44 a.m. And it placed him at an address at 5:40 a.m. in the Granby Hill area. And his phone continued to be live on the networks until 6:44. And nothing has been heard or seen of him since. These are his clothes. So, yeah, even if you don't know anything about what happened that night, if you've been maybe offered any of these clothes for sale, you know, or because this is a possibility that Jack was mugged. All his clothes are expensive clothes. A green khaki Barber jacket, brown Ralph Lauren trainers, navy blue chinos, a cream knit lamb's wool jumper. And these are representatives of the items. These are not the items he had on him, but they're so a black iPhone in a red silicone case, an AirTag in a brown case, a black card holder, Monzo debit card, a key fob, his driving license, his Emporio Armani watch. I mean, people have been mugged for a lot less than what Jack had with him that night. You know, he's so is that what happened? Was he mugged? And in which case, where is he? Or was he taken off somewhere? The thing is, he has not, as I always say, he's not been beamed up to Starship Enterprise. He is somewhere. His clothes are somewhere. So although you may not know anything about what happened to Jack that night, you might have seen these things, been offered them to buy them. You know, those kind of things, especially the iPhone, watch. You know, do you know anything? Has somebody offered you those things? Or have you seen them on a for sale site or something on Facebook? I mean, that's something I don't know if they've looked at, but from nearer the time, people sell things online, don't they? That's a possibility, isn't it? And the Bristol area, the buy and sell Facebook pages. Was there an Emporio Armani watch put up for sale? So yeah, at 1 a.m, we'll just go through the timeline quickly. He messaged his parents with plans to get a taxi. 3:17 was the last confirmed sighting on junction of Brunel Lock Way and Brunel Way. 3:24, he attempted to call a friend who was still at the party. 3:25, there was a likely sighting of him on the Plimsoll Bridge, heading towards Bristol city centre. 3:30, his friend called back, but the call was disconnected after Jack said hello. Now, that could be for various reasons. It might be just that he run out, you know, he was in a place where there wasn't a very good service. Not necessarily anything sinister, is it? 3:39, he was seen walking along Bennett Way. So he was still, you know, walking after that call, if you see what I mean. So, you know, if he doesn't sound like he was attacked in that moment. 3:40 was seen on CCTV walking up Bennett Way Slip Road heading towards Hotwells. 5 a.m, his parents noticed he wasn't home. 5:40, his phone placed him at an address in the Granby Hill area, and 6:44, his phone remained active on the network till this time. And what is worrying, there is a lot of water around there. So this is where Jack was walking, and you can see, the police sort of, it happens a lot. Young men near water, they normally do end up in the water. That doesn't mean to say that this time they have, but there is a lot of water around. But how could he just fall into the water? So that's where we are. There's a CCTV of him. Yeah. Now they may have more CCTV. I don't know. There's a £20,000 reward. You can download the flyers. You can share the story. So there's lots of ways you can help. Even if you're nowhere in the area, you can share. I mean, to me, I think sharing the story on Facebook, etc., is really important, because you don't know, the power of Facebook, the power of social media. Things fly around. So, you just never know who it might reach. So there you go, a very sad anniversary for Jack's family. And as I say, I will be keeping him in the public eye every couple of weeks. I'll be doing some, and more often if we get any actual updates. But even without updates, every few weeks, I will be highlighting Jack's story. And you never know. It might not. I would urge any other social media platforms, you do it as well. You never know who it's going to come from. Between us, we have a wide range. We have a wide reach, don't we? Okay. Thank you so much. My love and prayers go out to Jack's family today, and Jack, of course, because we don't know where Jack is. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.